If you're trying to sell your home, you probably already know that it's a complex process, but it doesn't have to be as difficult as you might think. There are all kinds of things that could go wrong or mistakes that you could make along the way, but if you're prepared, you don't have to go that route. You could actually prepare yourself with some great tips and tricks so you don't ever have to face those problems along the way. By doing just that, you're going to save yourself money, and you're going to save the drama of going through the problem in the first place. On this video, we're going to review the most common mistakes to avoid when selling your home. 1. Being too attached to your price. You need to price your home based on the actual value that it has. You shouldn't get caught up in a specific number that you or the agent likes. The truth is, a potential buyer is going to take a look at your home and at similar homes in the neighborhood, even if they're not for sale. Then they're going to make a decision about what the home is actually worth. And if your price and their valuation don't match, you're not going to get an offer. The most important thing is to make sure you price your house based on logic and metrics. Don't let your thoughts or feelings get caught up in the mix. Be flexible and open to changing your price if needed, and make sure you're being realistic. If you don't stay realistic about your price, you could end up with your home on the market for a long time. 2. Pricing badly. You can lose a whole lot of money if you're not careful about how you price your house. If you price too high or too low, it could cost you, which is why it's so important for you to know about the current market in your area. You want to look at houses that are up for sale and houses that have sold in your area. Also, look at those that are similar to yours. That's where your pricing should come from. If you price your home too low, you're going to lose money. If you overprice your home, however, it can actually be even worse. That's because your house is going to sit there on the market. It's not going to sell or even get offers, and it's only going to get older and older. That time is definitely not going to be too good for you. By knowing what your home should be worth and what houses around it are selling for, you're going to be set up to make a good amount off the sale. You might find an agent that wants you to price your house too high and may convince you, or try to convince you, to sign a listing that's overpriced. In these instances, it's definitely not going to be a good idea for you. You'll end up with the house you have to lower the price on later. 3. Ignoring the repairs needed. If you don't get repairs fixed before you list your home, it can actually cost you a whole lot of money. The best thing you can do is hire an inspector to come out and take a look at your home before you list it. If there's anything wrong and you know the sale isn't going to go through, then you need to make the repairs right now. It might cost a lot up front, but some repairs and improvements are actually going to make your home worth more. A new roof, for example, makes your home worth more. Adding in new appliances will also increase your value, making for less stress for the potential buyer. Making sure your house is in the best state possible is going to be far less expensive than letting it sit around with those problems that buyers aren't going to want. 4. Taking subpar photos. The pictures that come alongside your listing are the very first glimpse of your home that anyone is going to have. Great pictures make them want to look closer. Bad pictures, well, they're going to make people less interested. Even worse, they could turn off the perfect buyer for your home. By working with a professional photographer, you can highlight all of the best features of your home. You'll also be able to showcase it in a way that people are really going to like, and that will encourage them to come check it out. Showing clutter in your home can turn off buyers, as can pictures that are way too dark. Make sure you clean things up and open up all the curtains before you take a picture. 5. Not being open enough. You need to make sure that your house is always ready to be shown to a potential buyer. It can be a hassle having to get out of your house all the time for a showing, but it's a necessary part of the process. Make sure you're always available for a potential buyer to make an appointment, and make sure your house is always in the best shape possible so you don't find yourself struggling to clean. Of course, you also want to make sure that there's nothing cluttered or dirty that will turn off a potential buyer. That means keeping your dishes done and put away, making sure everything is neat and tidy, and being willing to evacuate at a moment's notice. If you're flexible about when showings can be done, it's going to make it a whole lot easier for people to see your home. That's going to make it a whole lot easier for you to get your home sold. Just make sure you're leaving each time a potential buyer comes to check things out. They don't want you hovering over their shoulder. 6. Lying or misleading potential buyers. You should always be completely open and honest with any potential buyer when it comes to problems with your home. It's not only ethically right to disclose any type of defect or potential problem, but it's actually required in most states. There are laws in every state that relate to what you're required to disclose to a potential buyer. And even if you're not legally required, you could be sued if the buyer knows that you already knew about the problem when you sold it. Plus, you're going to want people to be open and honest with you, right? When you buy a house, you want to make sure that people are going to tell you everything, and you should extend the same courtesy. 7. Ignoring the outside. Your house needs to look good from all angles, and that includes the outside. If a potential buyer drives up and the exterior of your home doesn't look good, chances are they're going to turn right back around. Making the outside look good makes it more likely that someone will at least come inside. The lawn should always be mowed, and the landscaping should look nice. Make sure to keep your driveway looking neat and tidy, and any walls and siding free of debris or vines, unless those vines are intentional. You want your house to look great on the outside and draw people in. That's what's really going to help you sell your house, so make sure you're putting your effort into it. 8. Getting the wrong agent. Your real estate agent is going to be one of the biggest pieces of the puzzle when it comes to selling your home. If you have a good agent, they'll be able to make sure you have your home optimized, and they'll make sure you're doing everything right. If you're working with the less than stellar agent, however, you're going to have some problems. The key is to make sure you do your research and that you interview a few options before you choose someone. You want someone who understands all of the key aspects of staging and selling your home from start to finish. If your home sits on the market for a long time, it's going to lose value. By choosing an agent that can really do the job from the start, you're saving yourself time and energy having to find someone else later on. 9. Not staging it right. There's a whole lot involved with staging your home, and you may not even realize it, especially if your home already looks pretty good. You need your home staged to make it look appealing to a potential buyer, not just to make it look nice. When you get rid of some of the clutter in your home and you get rid of personalization factors, you're helping the process. But you need to help make all the features of your house look like assets, and that can involve a little more work, like changing, moving, or removing furniture, painting walls, and more. On the bottom line, selling your house is going to be a difficult process, but you don't have to make it too much harder. If you watch out for these mistakes, you're going to have a much more successful experience. Just remember that emotions could be a huge problem for you here. Don't let them in. That's it for now. On our website, you can find more posts, as well as calculators and other financial tools. Do you have more mistakes sellers should know? We would love to know your thoughts, so feel free to share them with us in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get the best financial videos for free.